Wow, this is one technology-filled vehicle, and it is bigger than I expected, with lots of interesting things that I never expected. So let's take a look at the 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron Quattro on this episode of The Real DC Car Guy. Hey there, it's William Westhopper from The Real DC Car Guy, and we're here with the 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron. This is Audi's all-electric SUV, and I am going to call it an SUV because this does have quattro. It has all-wheel drive. It is a two-motor electric vehicle, though you can get this as just a rear motor electric vehicle. So what's surprising about the Q6 e-tron? Well, first of all, it's a big vehicle. It doesn't seem so big on the outside, but there's a lot of space inside, and that really is important. So in the back seat of the Q6 e-tron, there is seating for three comfortably, though you really want to be two because you want to put this center console down. Say you want to carry skis. Well, what would you do? How would you do that? Well, you reach here, you pull this, and you have this center piece that goes down. So this is basically a 40-40-20 seat. So you can put your long items through here, whether they be skis or other long items. The both sides of the seat go down, so you can have one person on one side or the other, depending on where they want to sit, and be comfortable. Now, I have this front driver's seat positioned where I like it, and it's a little tight back here for me. I find it interesting that the front passenger seat of the vehicle has its own screen, but there are no screens back here, nor are there any places to put an iPad or something. So if you're carrying the kids back here, there are heated rear seats and air conditioning controls. And way down here, there are two USB outlets. They're hard to find, but they're there. And they're USB-C outlets. There's a little map pocket there. There's a pocket in the side here. But what's also nice, because this has the extra package, is these privacy shades that go up, which are great if you have a kid in the back and you don't want them to have a lot of sun on them. So that's nice. Of course, there are four grab handles at the top, which is something that more inexpensive vehicles have been getting rid of, and even some of the more expensive vehicles have been getting rid of. But one thing I've got to tell you that I'm really impressed with is the Bang & Olufsen sound system. The B&O sound system in this vehicle is great, specifically because there are little speakers right here in the driver's headrest that I find work very well to give you specific information. Now, whether they're giving me as a driver specific, I have not ridden in this vehicle as a passenger. Those little speakers are not in the rear seat headrests. And the seat itself, it's very comfortable. It's got a nice little bit of back support. It's got good thigh support, good leg support. So, and you've got there's some padding here. It's not like you're sitting on a rock. All right, so let's go take a drive in the 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron. Now you have to put your seat belt on first. Put that seat belt on first before it will actually operate, and it will go anywhere. I can put it in drive now, which is interesting because I can put it in drive and I haven't even turned the key on yet. So, and I want to thank you for watching us here on The Real DC Car Guy. And we would like you to subscribe. Hit the follow button on this video and also subscribe to us. Here we go. So the e-tron is all electric, and this is a dual motor, and we have been doing pretty well with it. I was concerned a little yesterday when I was on the highway and the miles left of range was dropping But then when I parked and I was driving around lower, they had gone up again. So I think what it is, it's a computer is constantly monitoring what your consumption is and making a decision based on driving situations. So I really like the ride of this vehicle. While it is a heavy vehicle, it doesn't really feel like a truck in some of the other more expensive all-electric SUVs that I have been in that are very noisy and truck-like. This, while you still do know that it's a heavy vehicle, it rides very well. And that's probably because of the tires and the way the suspension is damped. Now this does have an air suspension, so I can raise or lower it as well if I wanted to do some off-roading, which I don't think most people in an Audi are going to go off-roading. Now the only downside about driving this vehicle that I found that I'm not as pleased with is that the electric steering, which I believe it's an electric steering box, I'll have to check on that, is that the steering sometimes when you're on the highway doesn't feel as connected as it could. And that wasn't disconcerting, it just, you could feel it, it's just a little different, so. Electric vehicles tend to ride very rough and almost truck-like, especially the larger SUVs. This does not. This rides very well. So if you're looking for a car that has a good ride in it, Q6 e-tron could very well be the vehicle for you. Now, one of the reasons that this vehicle rides so well is because of these 20-inch wheels and tires. While the vehicle comes standard with 19-inch wheels and tires, this one is outfitted with an additional $1,000 option with 20-inch tires and wheels. There you have the 1772 charge port on the right side of the vehicle. And around on this side, on the left side, let's go have a look at the left side. On the left side, you have the CMS port, and they're very similar. The only thing is this part, which is the CMS part, is not on the right side, which actually makes it easier to charge. So let's go ahead and charge the e-tron. Now we're going to use the CMS side. We're not going to use the CMS plug that this would take, but we are going to use a 1772. Now, I do not know what the status for the NACS plug is for this. I'm sure that you can get a NACS adapter, and you may want to ask for that for the NACS adapter when you buy an e-tron. So you can see it's lighting up, and it's charging. Charging the front. Says it's going to take 19 hours and 20 minutes to charge it. So. When you get into the e-tron, one of the things that I found is interesting is that it already starts up for you, but it won't let you put it into gear. Will it? It won't let you put it into gear until you put your seatbelt on, and then it will let you drive. So that is that. It has a screen for the passenger, which is normally sort of, it has a display on it that's not going to interact with the driver. But if it is turned on, the driver will see a little bit of it if they look over, but in reality, that's just for the passenger. It has a clock. It has whatever the sound system is going on. When I looked at the fact that I could bring up YouTube, I think I was able to get YouTube on there as well. Let's see if we can bring that over there. So it does have, yes, you can bring up YouTube. So I can bring up YouTube over here, and you can watch YouTube on that side as well. So really nice. I do find this a little I'd like to be able to push that once and have it close, though it is really nice to be able to have the sunroof operable. It's really nice to have an operable sunroof as well as the operable and movable sunshade on this glass roof. I'm going to give Audi a pass for having a frunk because after all, it does have Volkswagen and Porsche ancestry in here. But there is a nice little frunk area that you can put something in. There is access to things here as well as coolant stuff, but there's still mechanicals right back in here. So let's have a look at that. So here is your frunk area. And there, back in there, are the mechanicals. So you can access the mechanicals. So I'm assuming that this will come off probably through taking that off. Windshield washer fluid there. Looks like battery is there. Brake fluid is there. So you've got a lot of stuff. So a good amount of space in here. I mean, you're not going to get any luggage in here or anything, but you could get a little bag or something. So that is the frunk on the Audi Q6 e-tron. Now I'm very impressed with the amount of space that's here in the trunk of the Q6 e-tron. I am not seeing an extra tire. Let's look underneath here. No, there is no spare tire in this vehicle, but there is a charger. This vehicle does have a charger, and it has multiple plugs for the charger, so you can do 110 as well as 220. So let's put this back in here. I really like the cargo space that is here in the Q6 e-tron. Let's have a look inside of it. So you're going to see the subwoofer back here. This is the charge cord. There are the tools for taking the tires off, though I don't see a air pump or anything in there. So lots of space. It's kind of lift. There's no really depth or liftover, but what's also nice is there is enough space down there that you can put something, hide something away. A little cargo area. What I also like is the fact that you can do with this, that goes down. You can do it on this side as well. So you have lots of space there. And as I said, it's a 40-40-20, so there's plenty of options here for your cargo. So what are my overall thoughts on this Q6 e-tron? I think it's a buy, even at $76,000. That's a lot of money for any vehicle these days. But you know, it's an Audi, so you're going to get top quality technology. You're going to get top quality build quality on this vehicle. So I really think this is a good vehicle if this is what you're looking for. Would I buy this vehicle? If I had $76,000 to spend on a vehicle, yes, I would. If I had a family, this would be a great family SUV. Now, is it going to be your long range runner? It could be, because this does have 300 miles of range to its battery. At least that's what I'm experiencing. But the charging infrastructure out there just isn't up for it unless you really want to stop every 300 miles to get charged. And in that situation, you're probably going to stop every 250 miles or so. So I give this a 2 thumbs up as a EV, as an SUV. Just everything about this vehicle is top quality. It's well worth the price tag for this vehicle. I'm very, very impressed with it. So there we are, the real DC car guy. Let's see what videos we have out there. There is all the variety of videos that we've had over the last few years. That nice. So let's see how our video on this one does. There it is. Operation Frodo, we could do that one for when we went out with the dogs. So there's a little bit of everything. So thank you for subscribing to the real DC Car Guy. and thank you for watching this episode on the Audi Q6 e-tron Quattro. Until next time.